is founded in 1325. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Tonight, it's another installment of the International Series, and we've got a good and he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Here's a second and 7. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is third and 7. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on fourth down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here's the Los Angeles offense. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Here's a quick throw caught by Allen. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Back to throw. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's complete to Williams. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On second down, Eckler. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. 4th down, and on is Ty Long to punt. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Well, pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. He gets this one to Boyd. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here we go! 60-yard.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he's going to be runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick, and he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now Bernard. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3 and out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, that's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. Bullock's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 8. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And it's complete. Henry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Looking to throw. It's Williams on the catch. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 45-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run it here with Gordon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense...
It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line,
another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 30.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Gordon on 1st down. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Second and 2. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Brings up third down and 2.
The Chargers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw here. Complete. Hunter Henry with the ground. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Back to the ground now with Gordon. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Gordon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. Well, a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Badgley's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Back to Mixon on first down. A strong running. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. On the screen, Bernard. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
They'll set up to throw. Got his man. It's Eifert. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A draw play. Bernard. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
That's it, baby. That's it.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. They're going to look to throw. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Down. And logo. 36. Shoot.
He'll look to throw. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He's got it to Williams. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 37.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
He'll drop to throw. He'll get this to Eckler. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
He wasn't ready.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Well, this winds up an empty ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's Ty Long now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is brought in at the 21. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Joe Mixon, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Back to throw here. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This is taken at about the 14. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
This pass finds its way to Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
Ready? 94. Come on.
Running on first down, Eckler. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 9 at the 47-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. They'll look to throw. Complete. It's Henry. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And we will remain tied here in this third quarter. So it's his second miss of the game. They both hurt. This one especially so.
Yeah, you've got a chance to give your guys a second-half lead, and they're counting on you to put them in front. And I tell you, there's no one more disappointed than he is that he let his guys down.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll run again with Bernard, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he will try, but he can't. He can't escape the end zone. Gordon is taken down, and it's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Fielded just inside the 20. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Again, here's Bernard. They'll only get a couple up to
the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa, his 2nd sack of the night.
That's a 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Got it. 57 to Mike. Watch the curve. Watch the curve. Ready.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
We are seeing two really confident defenses. imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
It's complete to Williams. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Ty Long now as he's on to punt for L.A. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Joey Bosa bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated.